Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast instant match reaction of the game. Everton nil, Aston Villa nil. Do get your comments in. Paul is just coming out of the stadium, so he isn't. He might join me coming out the stadium. Did message a couple of the other Toffee Bluecasters as well. They might just jump in as well. If not, it's just me, match reaction. Dan on the show. I want you to get involved in the comments as well and tell me what you thought of the game. Get involved in the comments. Good thing about it just being me and you. If the others don't jump on, is just massively interact with you lot in the comments. So Toffee Bluecast match reaction 0-0. Let us know what you think. I'm going to drop the banner now as well. I'm pretty sure Paul will coming out the stadium. He did say so. I've just got to drop in the link now. Everybody, let us know what you think of the game, and we'll go through it. Just dropping Paul the invite now as well. There we go. Just drop Paul the invite. There he is there. 2 seconds. Do get your comments in. We'll read them out. There we go. I think that should get him on. How are we doing, Paul? You right?
Not bad, mate, yes. How's everyone there? A little bit disappointed with the result.
The comments are, like I say, literally straight live. So a lot will be coming straight out the stadium, but we do go live instant match reaction, don't we? So a lot will be walking out with you and probably listen to this later on and drop the comments on. But we'll just go live straight away. That's what we do. It's one of them, isn't it? I think personally, we started the game miles the better team. The first 20 minutes, I thought was like sensational. The first 15, 20 minutes we started the game. It was these dream players was actually playing how you dream them to play. Jack Grealish was fantastic on the left. Dewsbury was linking up with him, and Jai looked very dangerous on the right the first 20 minutes. And Irabunam looked good in the middle. James Garner looked solid left back, and we were passing the ball. When I was thinking, wow, this Everton is unrecognisable. It's not the Everton I know. This ain't. Is this us? And then Irabunam picked up a yellow card, which was always going to be a bad thing when one of your centre mid tacklers has got a yellow card. And the Aston Villa manager, I feel, made a little tactic to make them stronger in the middle and stop us being dangerous on the wings going in at half time. So we kind of, first 20, 25 minutes should have been probably 1-2, 3-0 up. And I'm not even surmising on that one. I think we really should have got a goal on that patch. And we didn't. It's a story of Everton at the minute. When we're on top, we have nothing to show for it. And then Aston Villa went in at half time. When I say Aston Villa after the 25 minutes come into the game, I don't think they looked like scoring. They just stopped us from having possession a little bit more and looked a little bit dominant through the middle. So I didn't feel like we was going to concede still, but it just felt like they had control through the middle of the park, which massively affected our threat. That was really good in the first 25 minutes. That was my first half impression. What was yours?
Yeah, like you, I thought we started really well. I mean, Beto has sort of a half chance inside the first 2 minutes even, you know. We seemed dominant on the ball without creating many really clear-cut chances, particularly that first half. And it seemed to be a story like what one or two people predicted last night on the show. It said it would someone said it would be a ball draw, but I think it was just a case of two teams who were decent on the ball, but just couldn't find that killer instinct when they got inside the area. And that's basically what it was. You know, I think we dominated a bit more than they did. I think Grealish was good, but they always put two people on him. We were getting crosses into the box, but it wasn't necessarily our strikers who were always heading getting to the ball. So it was quite frustrating in that way, really. We did have chances, but the chances in the whole game we had fell down to Beto and Michael Keane. So, it's frustrating from that respect, but defence,
We are going in and out of signal, people. Obviously, we've got Paul live from the coming out of the stadium on his phone. He was going well then, but he did have a little freeze. Get your comments in. Put your comments.
All right.
Everton fans coming out of the stadium. There we go. Comments coming in. Emma says he will lose that freeze in a second. Emma says in Mackies with Danny Ellis should have won that. Completely agree, Emma. I think we had some good chances. Just a little bit dopey when we got into the key positions. It bounced off our feet, and Michael Keane had a really good chance as well. Second half. I mean, we'll go into the second half in a minute, but I think Michael Keane had a cracking chance. Don't think he did much wrong with it, but cracking save by the goalkeeper. And we all know Aston Villa have got a fantastic goalkeeper. That's one thing I will say. I always say Jordan Pickford's the best around, but I think that guy's good competition with him. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. Jordan Pickford, number one, but I can't think of anyone better to be number two than that goalkeeper Aston Villa have got. He's absolute sensation. I can't believe they nearly let him go, in my opinion. Fantastic goalkeeper. Do get your comments coming in. Match reaction. Shame we couldn't finish. Would have liked to have had a look at Diblin also. Yeah, I wanted to see Diblin come on. I felt like, and Jai, I think as much as he started the game fantastic, I think with him playing international, maybe he burnt out a little bit. So, yeah, I would like to have seen Diblin. I really would. I'd love Enjoy, but I just feel fresh legs, maybe. Aston Villa did bring fresh legs on. Rod Ross says, afternoon, I hope you're doing well. Do get your comments in. Match reaction. What did you think of the game? What's your match reaction thoughts? Mr. Scar Gaming, hey, you're still unbeaten at the Hill Dicky. You're right. You know what I mean? We are. And that's what I was thinking as well, to be fair. We are still unbeaten at that new stadium. Let's have a look at the comments. Keep them coming in. Just going to remove that a minute until we can get Paul sorted again. There we go. Danny Ellis is at the Mackies. What have you had it from McDonald's, Danny? And Emma, what have you gone for at the McDonald's? I want to know. Is it a Big Mac? Is it a chicken sandwich? Is it a fillet of fish? What is your McDonald's choice? I hope you ain't gone cheap and had an Happy Meal. But do let us know what you've gone for. Paul's back in. I think you might have his signal again. There we go. Sorry, it's always going to be freezes, isn't it, on the phone?
Sorry about that.
We should have kept you in the ground, so Wi-Fi.
But yeah, sorry, I'm floating in and out. What's the general consensus on the comments then?
A lot of people like you. I think that it's one of them. You don't want to be too miserable, because I think that we played well, and I think that we've got a good team now, and things are looking better. A lot of positives to take from the game. But I think a lot of people are thinking, you know what, to have played that well against Aston Villa, and Aston Villa looked a bit weaker than they normally look, we should have took advantage. I mean, I watched Crystal Palace against Aston Villa when Crystal Palace beat them 3-0, and I think watching that and watching this, it was exactly the same, but Crystal Palace took the chances and they got 3 goals out of it. And I think we could have done exactly the same today. I don't think Aston Villa are themselves at the minute. I think they're probably weaker than they've looked in a long time.
But that's us all over, though, isn't it? It has been for years, really, probably since Lukaku, really. You know, we've taken a step up with Grealish and, you know, a couple of lads coming in. But the one position that we still want to reach the level is who's a striker. At the moment, we've not had that. And so those moments when it's a flick on header or a half chance, the better teams get a goal from those. But at the moment, we're not quite there yet. So that's the next stage, isn't it?
Yeah, David Moyes did say, he said it costs 80, 90 million for a striker that's going to be at it already. And he says we've had to pay 30 million for Barry, and we've had to go for a striker and try and push them to the best we can, but they're not going to be at the levels of probably a 90 million striker. In the comments we are seeing on what we're talking, it kind of relates. People are saying Beto. A lot of the time, Beto just couldn't control it sometimes, just off his foot. He just didn't have that look today. It's bounced off his foot. Some runs he was in and it just fell off his knee. It hit his knee, and normally, sometimes with Beto, it hits his knee and he ends up one-on-one and scores. But I think his touch today just really was against him. And maybe what was you thinking at the game? Would you have said that we probably should have brought Barry on a little bit earlier than what we did?
Well, that was the thing. You know, I'm not saying Barry would have taken that chance in the first 2 minutes, or had scored even today. But there was one moment, and sod's law is we had a gap between Beto and the rest of the team, which was about 40 yards wide, and someone pinged it up to his forehead. Well, he's got 3 players around him and said, what the bloody hell's he going to do with that? Of course, he brought it down, took on 2 people, and then laid it off to Grealish. So, what the friggin' hell do I know? But I would have, obviously, we've said it before, I would have preferred Barry to have started. I think he generally holds the ball up more. He can run in the channels a bit better as well. And I think Beto's a beast. Beto's a beast though when he comes on. Do you know what I mean? Give Beto 20 minutes. And he absolutely would have pounded Mings and the other lad into the ground. But starting him in that position, I don't think it's his strength.
It's a weird one though, because Beto he was a nuisance at the start, and he really did put them under pressure, and Dewsbury Hall and Grealish did get a lot of joy off knockdowns off Beto at the start of the game, and he didn't do bad when he started, but he just didn't take his chances. Now, some of us would say if Barry started, Barry would have took this. Barry would have scored that better chance. But when Barry did come on at the end, Barry was through. He went through on goal and had that chance at the end. And I thought he was going to score that. I really did think he was going to score it. And I know we'll let him off and think, but it's mad because that chance that Barry had, that drive and run where you've got to be strong and get your shot on target, that's something Beto probably would have been better at doing. But then, I don't know, it's really confusing because when Beto's playing, you feel like you need Barry. But then when Barry's on, you feel like Barry had the chances where you need Beto. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, probably because neither of them are totally up to scratch. So that's why we get frustrated with both of them. I think if anyone did watch the England game in the week, can't remember which goal it was. It's the one where the ball's coming through to Rodgers in the middle, and Rodgers flicks it, and then the lad from Chelsea, Madueke, his first touch takes him across the defender. Now that defender's not got a chance. I just don't think Beto or Barry, and we haven't seen much of Barry to be fair, but neither of them don't have that instinct straight away to get across the defender. They're thinking about their touch almost too much. It's not like an instinct thing. It's not like, I don't have to worry about my touch because I always have a good touch. It's like, I better not mess up this touch. And then it's a case of, now where's the defender? Do you know what I mean? So it's just that difference in level. It's just that difference in ability. And sometimes it'll work out, and most times it won't.
There was a lot of today, and I'm beyond Beto, and I think he can be good. He just needs backing. But there's a lot of times for Beto today where it didn't go for him, and he knew because he was so frustrated that it was a big chance. He was like, no, it bounced off his knee too hard. Because it went on his knee, and it bounced off his knee too far, went to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
There's a couple of chances where Beto is really frustrated with his touch. And the good thing is he's fuming with himself, so he's not accepting it. He's not doing a Calvert-Lewin and just accepting
I get that. There was one chance, wasn't there, when you thought he was going to shoot on his right foot, and it would have been an ideal opportunity to shoot for that far post. If the keeper saves it, it comes out, maybe someone else gets it. But he then chopped in to then shoot on his left, and did it get blocked? I think it got blocked. But again, that chance is gone. It's almost like second guessing himself, and maybe it comes with confidence. I mean, when you think about, we had a run of scoring 5 goals in 4 games or something like that last season. Most of those finishes were one touch. You didn't have to think about it.
Yeah. One-on-one.
Then you look at like the the Anfield derby, he gets a chance where he's about 40 yards, 30 yards away from goal. He still needs to have 2 touches to get close, and obviously it goes off the post. So the less time he's got to think about anything, the better, which is weird, but seems to be the case.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I just we've become a team now where we do like to we like to pass the ball. I think Moyes, if
Yeah.
we are more of a passing team in the final third, we're looking for that killer pass to. Sometimes I think we're overpassing it when we're in good positions. A couple of times today, the commentators did say Jack Grealish should have just had a shot because he's been trying. You can see why he's got so many assists because he was trying to assist and shoot when he probably should have shot. He did have a shot on target early. By the way, I thought
They
Jack
doubled
Grealish
up on him.
was,
They did double up on him.
he was fan. No, I'm not saying anything about Jack Grealish.
Yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Grealish
yeah.
was absolutely sensational. I'm just saying sometimes Jack Grealish is that good that I think he should just go and do it himself. He's too nice and wants to share it with the team and 1-2 and put Dewsbury all in with a killer pass. But I just think Jack Grealish is that good. I think he can go all the way sometimes. I think he literally can go all the way and put it in the back of the net. And I think he will start doing that soon. He's put a lot of assists in, but I think he's got the ability to just ping one in top corner on the edge of the box, Jack Grealish. But he was fantastic today, Jack Grealish. I thought he was. Do you know when you at the end when you like it felt like Everton? We needed a goal at the end. And we just give it to Jack Grealish and he goes again. And you give it to Jack Grealish and he goes again. And he just doesn't stop. And he's like, just give it to me. I'm going to keep going. Like a boxer that just doesn't stop and you just keep fighting. That's what Jack Grealish was like for me. He just kept driving. And I was worried about, like, with him being 30, about his fitness. But he really just keep driving. He's like the captain of our team sometimes, Jack Grealish today. He just keeps driving us forward. I did say earlier on, Paul, I felt Iliman Ndiaye, you could tell he'd been playing a lot international and had some big games international because as good as he was the first 25 minutes, it felt like it was more Jack Grealish carrying us on the left than what it was Iliman Ndiaye on the right. So massive shout out to Jack Grealish, fantastic. Another player I want to give a shout out to is Jake O'Brien. I thought Jake O'Brien was sensational. Jake O'Brien, he was powerful. His crossing was fantastic. Some people say Jake O'Brien can't cross. His balls in was fast and good speed and nearly made them score own goals. His crosses was that good, Jake O'Brien. His defending was solid. Dinier got no joy past him. And he was, honestly, I couldn't dream of a better right winger than what Jake O'Brien was today. He really was fantastic, Jake O'Brien, down that right-hand side.
I think that the fact that Jake was getting forward so much maybe highlights how Skilliman was maybe not getting us forward as much. You know, there were flashes, he did great. But I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that graphic that they do sometimes when it's Everton, say whatever your team is attacking, and then they have 3 columns, the right-hand side, the middle, and the left-hand side, and a percentage about how much you attacked in those different positions, because everything did seem to go through Jack. Everything did seem to go through Jack. And anything that was on the right, bar a couple of times, seemed to be Jake, like you say. So
in the comments here, Paul, Spoonie says, "Why did we buy Diblin again?" And you can see why Moyes would leave Ndiaye on, because he probably feels Dinier on a yellow card. He had the better of him, and he could probably score a late goal. And we all do like Ndiaye. Sorry, we all know Ndiaye can be dangerous. So you can see why he'd leave Ndiaye on. But what was it like at the ground? Was there a big sense that Diblin should be coming on?
No, you know what? I heard the odd shout, but nothing derogatory against any players. To be fair, I mean, even Beto was getting plaudits. There's plenty of applause when he went off. I didn't hear too many negative comments from where I was. Maybe a couple of shouts late on for Diblin, but it's Skilliman, isn't it? You know, he's a lot of people's favourite player. So if he was to come off, then fair dues. He's still one of our best players.
It can open things up as well.
I would have
can't it?
liked to have seen Diblin. I would have liked to have seen Diblin for a good 10 minutes at the end. That's for sure.
I hope we stay positive. Still a good start under the club. Need to stay behind this group. Yeah, I think we are. I think some people they just probably wanted to see Diblin when Njai got fatigued. But then sometimes you leave Njai on, he scores the winner. You're not saying you wish Diblin come on, are you? That's how it works. I've done that many a times. I've tweeted saying bring this player off his crap, and then he's come on and scored second half and won the game.
Everyone held their breath when Merlin came on, and then he had a shot from the edge of the box. We thought, oh, here we go. And then, and then it was about 20 foot and up in the air. And he went, oh. But it was good. It was good that he got a little run out as well.
Do you know what? I know some people say, oh, he didn't play much, he didn't do much, but I was really impressed with him, because you can tell with the ground that a player covers. And I think he was in a lot of dangerous positions in the number 10 on the edge of the box and was a nuisance when the ball was in the air and composed with his feet. And I like that when we was defending, he was in all the defensive positions that he needed to be. I really did watch him because I like to watch what a new player's got. And I think when we was defending at the end of the game, I felt pretty solid with Merlin Roll. And I think he looked the business. He's big, he's strong, he looked good on the ball, he looked composed. It didn't look like we was bringing a young kid on. It looked like we was bringing a new experienced midfielder on. They brought a lot of players on later on. They brought Elliott on and all that lot. And I thought he handled them well. He put in a good tackle straight away. I thought that you could hear the fans cheer because he put a big tackle in straight away. Merlin Roll did. And he looked good.
A big tackle, though, don't we? We like a big tackle.
Yeah, he did look good. I was impressed by him. I really was impressed by him. Do you know another thing that I want to say? And me personally, I will call someone out if they're crap, right? But I will put my hands up if they're good. I always say, yeah, he's played good that game, but play good 2-3 games. And then I'll think, I like a player to play good more than one game. And I will put my hands up now. Michael Keane has had 3 good games. 3 really good games. And I know people will say he's had more, but I'm saying today, I thought Michael Keane was fantastic. He was really good today, Michael Keane was. And I can't believe I'm saying this. And he's starting to do it consistently, which is now why I'll say it. Michael Keane was really good today. Really good. Turned the ball over, looked solid. What's happened to him, Michael Keane? He's a lot more confident, isn't he? I don't want to curse it. I don't want to see the bad one that we all know. But he was good, wasn't he, Paul, Michael Keane?
Yeah, he was solid. He's doing a good job, but that's can't complain about him really. That's what his role was, to step in when someone got injured, and he's doing a decent enough job. Everyone seemed quite calm at the back, solid at the back. I don't think Villa offered too much. To be fair, Buendia was probably their biggest threat for a good chunk. You were barely aware that Watkins was on the pitch, to be honest. I like Watkins as well as a player, but I think we shepherded everyone into the sides and threw our bodies in when it was needed. James Garner did well at left back. There was a moment there where he had to throw himself to blocking a cross from Matty Cash, I think, and did a decent job.
Yeah, it was a really good. He slid in last minute. Really good slide tackle as well, because the goal looked like it was opening up for the player as well. So it was a really good last minute slide where you're expecting Pickford to make the save, but he slides in and stops the shot from even going on target. There was, I thought Pickford didn't have much to do when you think about it. I think that shows how well we've done. I think the standards are higher now and people know it. I think the bar's higher and we want to go for that Europa League conference this season. That's why a few people are disappointed, because they're thinking, when we do get the chance to beat someone, we've got to make sure we do beat someone, because we might regret it later on. And I think we really could have got the 3 points for that. I can't remember Pickford having to thinking any world-class saves from Pickford today. And their keeper, I said it earlier on, Paul, before you come on, their keeper is fantastic. He's a cracking goalkeeper. He dealt with a lot of stuff around the edge of the box, a lot of good punches, because I thought we put good corners in today. Our corners were decent. He was really under pressure. The save that he did on Michael Keane's header was sensational. If Pickford did that, we'd all be saying it was the best save in the world. So it was a cracking save because Michael Keane got his head on that good, and it was it wasn't just a save. He had to get a strong hand on it just to get it over the bar as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was a cracking save, that was. I honestly do think if Aston Villa didn't have that goalkeeper today that there was supposedly leaving them, we would have won that. It was a cracking save on Keane's shot.
He's still an arse, though, isn't he?
They always, a lot of people would say Pickford are, but those arses, those nutters are the best goalkeepers, ain't they? I think they're the best ones because they've got the bollocks, haven't they? They've got the, they're not scared. But we did put a lot of pressure on that goalkeeper, and he dealt with as well.
He did. It's just, in the end, it just sort of showed us being not as having a big enough bite, and then really having a fair defence. I think things obviously didn't go great for him at Palace. They didn't have the rub of the green or whatever, but we didn't take our chances when other teams have done. So, and that's going to be the difference between us finishing dead 10th or in the top 8, I suppose. So
we are becoming new to. We are like just getting used to that. We are supposed to be a good team now. I think that some of these players are thinking, we've got Jack Grealish now, we've got Juice, but we need to start pushing and believing in ourselves and striving for a better standard. We can't think, this is better than what we was last season. This is a new team, and we need to raise the bar. And a draw isn't a bad result. We are unbeaten at home still, which is, I think, in a new stadium is decent. Aston Villa ain't the worst side in the world. I think when they get their new players settled in, I think they'll beat a lot of teams, and they didn't beat us. So I think it's positive in that way because they did bring a lot of good players on, and they have got players out. So I don't think it was the worst result in the world. We didn't lose. We took a point. We still got the confidence where nobody can beat us at our new stadium. So I'm happy in that way. But I think us Evertonians now know that we can be good and we can win games like that, and we probably should have. So we do need to still be positive because there is still a lot of positive out there. Of course, we want to win, and we feel like we should have won, but we need to be positive. There we go. Chin up, chaps. This is miles better than the start of last year. We just all know that we've got to make sure that we get that Europa League conference spot to keep Jack Grealish, and we're pushing for that. That's the only way that we're going to go. People, it is on the half-hour spot. I am going to ask for last words. Paul, one thing I was going to ask you as well is the do you know at the end the commentator, I think it was Osman commentating, he said that the atmosphere needs to be good at the end to boom Everton over the line and get them that win. Do you feel like the atmosphere in the new stadium was good to boost them and push them over the line to try and push that 1-0 win? Or it was good enough.
Yeah, we were. Everyone was up and everyone was singing and pushing it and everything else. So, I mean, certainly, I was in the upper south stand. So certainly from our section and from what we could hear from the rest of the ground, it seemed like everyone was trying to push on. There was a moment where Garner Gay turned around about 3 or 4 times in the middle of the pitch when everyone said turn and we wanted to attack. And it was just a case of come on, let's get forward. Grealish at one point was trying to egg the fans on as well, but we were all doing it. We were all pushing in the same direction. So I don't think there's any blame there at all. I don't think there's any blame anywhere, really. Just one of those where we didn't get the win.
And we made sure we didn't get the loss. I mean, Carl says there, Simon Hooper should have prevented Martinez from time wasting at the end. I think he was time wasting a little bit. They did that goal kick where they pretend they're going to go short and then go long just to waste time. But I think it shows how far we've come, that a Europa League team, a Champions League team like Aston Villa not so long ago, the time wasting against us, Everton, because they can't handle us and are scared of what attack we're going to bring. And looking at that game at the end, you'd say if there was more time, there was only one team that was trying to win, and that was Everton Football Club, and we was going for that at the end. We was piling the pressure on. We was pushing up. They didn't even look like attacking at the end. They looked like they was happy with a 0-0 draw. So I think at the end of the game, looking at us, it's positive. It really is positive because we was going for that at the end, weren't we, Paul?
Yeah. And I mean, I'll probably look back at this game and sort of think, well, it was Erin's first game at Hill Dickinson. Had a drink in the Bramley Moor. Had my first Everton donut as well. They're very sticky and blue.
Toffee blue.
And no, it was. I mean, I'll look back at it on an occasion rather.
Of course, it would cut him off on last words, people trying to get him back in. But we are coming towards the end of the show. Was giving him last words then as well, and then cut him off. Phones, eh? Not as good as Wi-Fi, are they? Everton lost momentum. Just missed that clinical edge. I'd say the same. I think we just need a bit of luck as well sometimes, don't we? We do just need a bit of luck. We'll wait a couple of seconds to see if it lets Paul back on. If it does, if it doesn't, let's see. No money for a taxi. If you shelled out for a donut. You did go for the donut, I did see it. Don't know whether it's going to let him back in, people. I think that is going to be the end of Paul, but that will be the end of Toffee Bluecast, people. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I've put as many comments on as we can. As Cole says, Derby next. I'm ready for it. I am really ready for it. Bugger it. I think we played well today. We did play well. Look at that for a picture. We did play well. And that is the end of the Toffee Bluecast, people. Hope you all had a boss one. Derby next, Red Shark next. Yeah, everyone's saying the Derby next. Big game next. Big game. There's a lot of positives to take going into that Derby. I think we can do it. I really do think we can do it. Pre-match Derby is going to be mega. We'll put a mega show on for you. It's going to be a big one. Up the top is everyone. Hope you enjoyed the match reaction. Instant match reaction. Understand loads don't come on their home games because it's straight after. If you are listening to this and catching up, do hit that like and subscribe. And up the top is, baby, we are unbeaten at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's all positive. Up the top is, see ya for the pre-match at the Derby. Massive. And we fight with all of our might. For the boys in the royal blue jersey, Copites are gobshites. Get ready for that Derby because we're going to get them.